Ever had one of those weeks where every single plan you made got crushed before breakfast? That's my life too. But today, I'm going to show you one technique that you can apply both to your everyday chores and to a creative task or a passion task to save your day time and time again. What makes me believe I'm the right person to tell you this? I'm a mom in her 30s with 3 kids, including one with physical and mental disabilities, meaning I'm also a caregiver. And if I manage to move forward with everything that life throws at me and 1,000 extra curveballs that my kids throw at me, so can you. And yes, the toothbrush will come in later. Just yesterday, I had a letter in the mail that made me wanna throw myself on the ground and start crying like my kids do when something in their world falls apart. Drop the toothbrush. I'm in the middle of trying to get my disabled daughter a special aid, a special chair, and we have a social worker who was meant to help us with getting that chair. And that means the social worker has agreed to write letters to our health insurance company to convince them to grant her this aid. Yesterday, I received a letter from the healthcare insurance company telling us that they hadn't received the information from the social worker that they knew was about to come because I had told them it was coming. And now I had to go to the social worker and remind her to do her job. And it's one of those tasks where everybody else is like, but this is just a tiny task, it's just one letter and you just call her and what's the big deal? When you do that like 8,000 times each week, every one of these things is a big deal. And then you get even more of this well-meaning advice that says, just change your mindset, just change your attitude towards this. See this not as a roadblock, but as part of the path, as a mere detour. And you're like, yeah, I know you mean well, but just save it. You're not in the trenches with me. Just let me be mad about it, okay? The thing that helps me mentally is to think that it gives me another chance to advocate for my daughter. And I just tell the social worker, go up to her and say, here, apparently you're not doing your job, go do it, please. To say, here, this is on the table, and have you included this point about my daughter, and have you mentioned that fact, and have you given them that, so that I can be sure by the time the social worker finally sends off that letter to the health insurance company, I have done everything I could have possibly done in that stage of that particular process to help my daughter. But still, this doesn't stop you from feeling like you're under a mountain of things to do. The household needs to get done and the kids need to be taken care of, and then you also shall do something for yourself. So how do I do it, and why do I need a toothbrush for it? What I do is, on any given day, is stack micro wins. That means I look at the tasks that I want to do, have to do, should do, and define the smallest possible action in relation to that task that will get me forward, that will give me a feeling of I have accomplished something. How does this abstract stuff look like in practice? When we're talking about household chores, you might say to yourself, I need to clean the bathroom today. Yeah, okay, this is my kitchen behind me. That's just because my bathroom has terrible lighting. The kitchen has good light. But you can still do 1, 2, or 3 micro wins. I always choose 3, and if I get to do 1 in a day, then I can already feel accomplished. When I get into the shower, yes, it's a when, because if you're anything like me, you'll just be sweating from your day. I'll take an old toothbrush with me, and while the water is running, while I'm cleaning myself, I use it to scrub the little gaps in the tiles and between the compartments of the shower wall and so on, where you usually don't get into that easily. And even if I don't get to do the whole shower this way, I get to do a little bit. I can see the toothbrush going completely black. thing accomplished. Say you're getting dressed in the morning. I'm assuming you put clothes on to leave the house. Don't just pick any outfit, but you've become so accustomed to it that wearing anything else will feel like a big change in your personality, in your appearance. It will make you feel different to leave the house in a different outfit. You cannot wait for perfect conditions. They will never happen anyways. So start where you are, stack these micro wins, and then you will see that over time you don't even need perfect conditions, because consistently thinking of micro wins and trying to achieve micro wins is what will get you the big thing that you're aiming for completed. And if you're also in the middle of a transformation like me, or if you feel like you need a transformation but don't really know what or how to do it, subscribe and we'll push through together.